What to expect from Bar 5 Day? Well, you're going to get a detailed itinerary rundown and everything, so I'm not going to go too much into that, but I will give you some other insight as to things that I think are really helpful, especially in the week leading up to Bar 5. Bar 5 Day is a really intense and a very beautiful experience. It's sensory rich and it is a full week, which means that there is some things that you can do to really prep your system to be open and ready to receive the input of information that you'll be receiving. When I say that you'll be receiving a lot of information, I mean it. It is a very intense week, so it really behooves you to actually go through and make sure that your schedule is clear, make sure that your calendar is free, and if you can limit the amount of distractions that you'll have in the outside world, when you come into the container that is Bar 5 Day, presence is such a key experience, because when you can be present with the knowledge, the passion, the craft that's present in all of the people there, it really helps to enliven and highlight that beautiful experience, okay? Another great tip that I've really learned myself, and I share this from personal experience, protect your palate. Protect your palate. Protect your palate, okay? One of the first, most beautiful experiences that I always do when I get to New York City is to go get a slice of pizza. And I nearly screwed myself before Bar 5 Day, because I went to that little pizza joint that's right around the corner from Moynihan train station before I headed upstate. And I literally took a bite and I burnt the roof of my mouth. And I was terrified that I would be left with this dull sense palate for the week ahead. Luckily, I was okay, but I just want to make sure that whenever you're taking those first sips of coffee in those few days leading up to and during the course, make sure to let it cool. If you're taking that first bite of pizza, make sure to let it cool. Make sure that you're not eating anything really sharp or hard that then like messes with your tongue or cuts you or something like that. Just be really careful, okay? I know that it sounds like a basic piece of information, like don't be stupid while you're eating, but sometimes people forget, and this is a chance where you can really be mindful of that as you go through this experience, all right? And I just share that from my personal experience, so I hope that resonates. Another one is that we're going to obviously be meeting in the winter, and some people are coming from many different climates, and in cold weather, what can happen is as we're going to be tasting a lot, we'll be breathing a lot, and as we're breathing, our lips can get quite chapped. It's really important that you bring some unscented chapstick with you. It can become your best friend. Again, this is just personal experience, but I hope it resonates. You don't want to use scented chapstick because as much as you don't want to tick watermelon on every tasting sheet that you do, unscented can be your best friend. Just letting you know. The next thing is I would just say is on the week leading up to the course, really make sure you're just hydrating a little more than normal. It really helps with the travel, with coming in, with new experiences, making sure that your body is properly hydrated. It's just really important. Also, during the course, it's not allowed to wear any colognes or perfumes or anything, or heavily scented deodorants, just because of the nuances of how much we'll be tasting, okay? If that's something that is in your daily practice, it might be worth just kind of reducing the amount of products that you're wearing the week before you lead in to allow your body to acclimatize to that sort of new normal. Another aspect that might come into play is your physical body. See, behind the bar and in hospitality, we're used to walking and being on our feet quite a lot. So when it comes down, we're going to be sitting a lot every day as we taste and go through these spirits and listen to these seminars. So that can have its own stress on the body. So stretching can become really important. And I highly encourage you over this next month to just really enjoy some gentle stretching in whatever way that means for you. I'll be trying to provide some gentle insight into some various stretches that have been helpful for me in that regard, but also during the week itself, I'll be hosting daily sessions in the morning and in the evening once you either finish or before we get started to just help to open up the body, open up the senses, and to really stay grounded during the week, okay? That's my entire role while I'm there, is to just help you navigate the input of information to allow it to sink in all of the beautiful ways that it can. The last piece of advice I wanted to share was surrounding sleep. Now I know that this can be a really interesting exercise for a lot of bartenders to talk about because we basically work such crazy hours that we don't really have circadian rhythms and we're just night owls through and through. But there is an element that I think is so important for this course to arrive fully rested, whatever that means for you. In doing so, rested senses perform so much better than tired ones, okay? And we're going to be using our senses and our brains so much during that week that it's just important to remember that. And I know New York City is such a tantalizing, amazing place to want to go and check out all of the places till late night before you get into the course. And I highly suggest that you do engage with all of them and in a way do that. But just make sure to arrive rested, whatever that means for you. Okay? And just remember, you always have after the course too, hopefully, to engage with some of those places. So in order to help with that, we've put together some resources for you. My best friend and business partner, Shannon, has done a Yoga Nidra for you. Yoga Nidra is an amazing practice to be able to disconnect from the outside world, reconnect with your body, and come into a state of complete relaxation. It's said that like an hour of Yoga Nidra is worth like 4 hours of sleep from an energetic perspective. So even just the little half an hour course can really be a nice opportunity to use before you go to sleep at night to just disconnect and reconnect with yourself. Or throughout the day, if you're feeling like you're struggling and you just needed a quick 30-minute break sometime to recalibrate, I hope that you find that helpful. I also read some of the manual as a sleep story, hoping that it could be educational and also helping you relax and lull you off to the field of dreams on the other side of your consciousness. And then also I've included some playlists that for me are just really dope, and I love listening to them as I drift off sometimes because they have the frequencies that really help me just settle into sleep. So all of that said, I hope that you have an amazing time preparing for Bar 5. It is one of the most intensely beautiful experiences that you will ever have. And I'm just really excited to see you there. And don't worry, during the course, I'll also be there every morning and evening and throughout the days, holding space for anybody who needs it. Every morning we'll be doing stretching sessions and breathwork sessions before the day even begins, and it's optional completely, but I'm there if you need me. And the same will be true for the end of the day. I'm happy to spend some time if people need to go through and ground people back into themselves after they have processed so much beautiful knowledge. Overall, I'm just really excited to see you at Bar 5, and I hope that these resources provide helpful in your preparation for it and beyond.